Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Podooks podcast. In today's episode, in addition to what I'm going to talk about in the very beginning, which is probably what you saw in the title, I'm going to talk about Chainsaw Man, the Reze movie, Digimon Time Story, some other stuff. But before any of that, I got to talk about my new obsession. It started about a month ago, right? But let me give you my little rundown, my little history with the WWE or wrestling, in entertainment, right? So I'm not completely oblivious to what it is. I know names. I know John Cena. My family used to watch it when I was younger, but I never really got into it, right? But even I even went to an event. I even went to a Raw, a Monday Night Raw, like fucking 8+ years ago, right? My family took me because my siblings and my mom, they were super into it. I wasn't into it. I never watched it. I've only seen, because they would have it on. I just walk by and then think nothing of it. So I went, and the only wrestler that I knew was John Cena. And he was like a surprise guest that no one knew he was going to be there. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But everyone else, I was like, whatever. Like, it wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing until last month. Until last month. So I've been seeing clips of this girl that I probably put in the thumbnail. Miss Stephanie Vaquer, La Primera. Yo, okay. Hold on. Let me calm down a minute because she's probably the main reason why I started watching. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. She is what brought me into this world. Okay, because honestly, I feel like the strongest part of the WWE or wrestling in general are the girls. The girls are so fun to watch, and she's like one of the best right now. And I know there's something, there's other leagues besides the WWE. I know there's the Japan League, the Mexico League, of course, the Luchadores, I know other underground like wrestling leagues that are not as mainstream. I'm sure they go hard. I'm sure they go crazy. But for now, I'm still getting my feet wet. I'm still brushing up on a lot of these clips that I've been going back on. A lot of them involving Vince McMahon and all these other old wrestlers like JBL, bro. When I found out about JBL, this motherfucker, this dude. Okay, I'm getting off track, but let me just say this real quick before I forget. This dude JBL, from what I understand, his thing was like being racist towards Mexicans or whoever, right? He even went down to what was it, the Texas border, whatever border that was, and he's like, I know all you are. I know all you are used to jumping fences around here. Everyone's like, whoa, boo. But people were eating it up, so it was a different time. Whatever. Anyways, Stephanie Vaquer, my favorite, my number one. I was just scrolling on TikTok, and then every so often I'd get clips of her or the Kabuki Warriors, which I'll get into in a minute, um, or even Rhea Ripley. I know who Rhea Ripley is. I don't watch wrestling, but everyone knows who she is, right? But I never cared enough to watch. But I remember I was scrolling on TikTok, and it was something that happened that week, which was her going for the title, the women's title, against Io Sky. Now, Io Sky, yo, she is crazy, bro. The clips I've seen of her, she jumped off a cage with a trash can, whatever. But bro, she is so fun to watch. She's so sick with it, and I remember. So she did like over the moonsault, and okay. So well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So this match starts, and it's like 7 minutes, and I'm like, I want to watch the whole thing. And I remember being in awe. I think I watched the whole thing, and that's the first time I ever cared about a match in the WWE and wrestling in my entire life. It's just because they made it look so cool. So I was watching them, and then it was towards the end, and then she does the moonsault, and she lands on her knees, or she makes it look like she lands on her knees, and then Stephanie gets back up. She's Io's getting in the spot, and she does like this little corkscrew, this little backflip twisty, and then lands on her face. Oh, lands on Io's face, and then she wins the title. I'm like, yo, I don't know what it was, but I think when I was watching, I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa, okay, what's going on here? Something's awakening in me. And so ever since then, I've been kind of like, my algorithm has been like going down the rabbit hole of all these random ass clips. I saw a clip of Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler, Stone Cold, where Stone Cold was like beating his ass, and then Vince McMahon's like, "You're his best friend, and you're going easy on him. Open him up." Yo, I know he's not running anymore. I think it's the Triple H guy. But man, when that dude was running it, I'm sure that shit was crazy. Because there's a bunch of other clips that I don't even remember right now. But bro, I just remember he's like insane. Like I know he's going through court for whatever. I don't even know what he's doing. But and there's a documentary on him which I might check out. But yeah, I've been getting into it. But the girls have really been reeling me in to the WWE. So first it was Stephanie Vaquer, then it was Io Sky. Io Sky is amazing, and then the Kabuki Warriors. So I've heard of Asuka before because she would trend on Twitter, stuff like that. And she's like literally amazing because on top of being a wrestler, she could have just done other things. Like she owns a salon in Tokyo. She has like an arcade that she was building. She has her own YouTube channel, which I've been checking out. She worked for Nintendo DS. She wrote for Xbox. And then I think this all came up because some dude named Goldberg. I've never watched him wrestle. I'm sure he's whatever, right? I'm sure he's good. Okay, I'm no disrespect. But he was disrespecting my girl, Asuka. Asuka! Saying that some girl, broke his streak of most wins or whatever. And she had the most wins for like longer. Like she had a way longer streak. Like 600 something almost 2 years or something like that. So she's dope. Kyrie Sane, I love her. She's goofy. They're doing a thing where I guess she's being tagged along. Asuka's like a abusive bully friend, and then they're just trying to get their family together, and it's like, okay, so I know it's like a storyline, and people know it's a storyline, but I wonder because people really like that one, and I'm glad because I really like watching them because they're not only are they good wrestlers, but they're pretty fun to watch. You just talk shit to each other, right? But the whole storyline thing, because I want to bring that up because I know a lot of people say wrestling's fake, and I think fake is not the right word, and I think it's a little disrespectful to say that because when these wrestlers say they put their bodies on the line, it's true. I can tell because I remember I was watching a thing with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is his name, right? The guy who broke his neck in the Olympics and then won. That guy, he brought up the fact that his spine no longer has discs in it. Like the discs that you have in your spine that space them out, they're gone. Like in his body, like they're all fused together. And I'm like, oh my god, bro. Like, how do you let that? I know. Like, if you really love something, you're passionate about it, you go for it, and you do it no matter what, and you put your body on the line. That's what they mean when they put their body on the line. But when you bring up like storylines or the entertainment side of like what was happening with the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea Ripley and Io Sky just ripping each other apart from a family, it's fun to watch that, but people understand that that's a storyline, and that's where people get the idea that it's quote unquote fake, and I don't want to use that word, but or scripted, because honestly I can't tell sometimes. Well, I could tell by the acting, but like because they gotta do promos, they gotta talk shit to each other, but I feel like it's half and half, right? Because you're really putting your body on the line, you're really saying some real shit when you're cutting these promos, and from what I can tell, sometimes it gets personal because they do bring real life elements into it. But I do think that there's a sense of like not scripted, but where you're supposed to hit your cue. You're supposed to stand right there so I can do this, so I can push you, so we can be safe. Like I get that, but yeah, it's hard to say what it really is. But yeah, I still at the end of the day we still enjoy it, right? We still love it, and to say that it's fake is kind of disingenuous for the most part. So yeah, I really enjoy what's going on in Bro. Before I forget, one of my favorite clips that I've seen so far because my boy, Mr. Eddie Guerrero, uh, I saw a clip of him with fucking what was his name? I saw a clip with him with Brock Lesnar, and that was a Mandela effect for me because Eddie Guerrero was around like 2005, 2003 when he died, and bro, I thought Brock Lesnar was like wrestling like maybe 5 years ago, and then he retired. But to see him like he's been there for a long, long time is crazy to me. Anyways, so it's the promo where they're talking about No Way Out, and then it's Eddie Guerrero just like putting his heart out there. It's probably one of the best promos that I've seen so far, just looking stuff up. But bro, what he's talking about, like I lost my family, I lost my kids, I lost my job, I'm an addict, and he's like, I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna do whatever I can to win that around my waist and win the number one champion. I was like, bro, that was I've been watching that for the past month. Like that is amazing, and the fact that his thing was lie, cheat, and steal. He's one of my favorites of all time. Like he's up there. He's definitely up there. Um, I know people like Dom, Dirty Dom, Dominic, and he's the son of Rey Mysterio, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I haven't seen too much of him. I know he's supposed to be the heel. I think that's I'm pretty sure he's the heel. I've been learning the terminology, heel, babyface, all that stuff. But yeah, I just want to see more of like what people are talking about because I feel like a lot of WWE fans are like anime fans where they're very critical and then they probably overly hate stuff when it doesn't deserve it. So I can feel that a little bit. I mean, every fandom is kind of like that, but I feel it here, especially as well as like the anime fandom because it could be like that too. Oh, another thing that I wanted to bring up. So one of my nicknames is actually AJ, and I've had that for my whole life, right? And I remember I would say it at school, and people call me AJ, and then some guy told me, "Yo, AJ Styles," and I was like, "What? AJ Styles?" And then another person said that, and then maybe a third person said that. And I was like, "What the hell are people talking about?" And I never thought about it. And I want to say like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I found out that AJ Styles is a real person. So it was like one of those moments where I clicked for me. And I was like, oh shit. I felt so dumb, but yeah, and he's retiring soon, as well as John Cena. But yeah, that's my whole spiel about the WWE and how I've kind of gotten into it. They were here filming like a few days ago. I didn't get to go because I was working. But man, I would have loved to have seen Stephanie Vaquer, my favorite so far. I know Io's like in Japan right now. She did like a tag team match with some girl, her old tag team partner. Kabuki Warriors were I think they were there. I don't think Rhea Ripley's there. Nikki Bella was there. Yo, another thing. So I used to watch the Total Divas show back on whenever it was on. That was my other thing that I forgot to mention is that's how I got introduced to like John Cena, and I really like John Cena. That show kind of made him look kind of weird because he was like, I don't know, he was weird. I remember that thing where they were cooking in his kitchen. He's like, "You're cooking in my kitchen? This is marble. It's gonna warp. The floor is gonna warp if you get water on it. Whatever, whatever." But yeah, I used to watch that show. I used to like watching it like every week. That's how I learned about Daniel Bryan, Natalia or Natalie. I think it's Naomi. Yo, I think this year is when Naomi she like gave up the title and had a baby. I can't wait till she comes back because she's actually so funny. She's the one with the caution tape, right? That would be so sick to see her and Stephanie and the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea Ripley. Um, and then I guess there's like an AEW. I don't understand how these different things work. I know there's a girl named Sol Ruka. She was pretty cool, but she like hurt her leg or something. But yeah, I would watch the Total Diva show. I know I keep going all over the place, but yeah, I used to watch, and that's how I kind of knew them. Before I started watching Peacemaker, and then I knew more about John Cena, and now I kind of care more. But yeah, and then everyone knows The Rock. But yeah, That's my whole thing. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna, get more into it. I could feel it. Like I'm probably gonna get more into this wrestling thing. But yeah, thank you for listening to my little thing. I'm gonna move on to my next topic. So I saw the Chainsaw Man movie Reze Arc, which I think. So I watched it last week. I think I'm gonna watch it again tonight in English and in IMAX. But bro, I haven't read that part in the manga for such a long time. So it was very like refreshing to go and watch. And after seeing the Demon Slayer movie, my hopes were very high because the Demon Slayer movie left off in a pretty weird spot because they're splitting up the last arc to like three parts, which I'm not a fan of, but go off King. But I was so excited for this because I knew it was gonna be a complete like movie, and it felt like a complete movie. And the art direction, the choreography, the way they made Rize just so like OP, so crazy, so deranged, and yet so like human at the same time. Beam is number one support. That crying baby was terrible. Aki had some good moments. Angel had some good moments. Maki, she was around for not too long. I was a little disappointed that Power wasn't in it a whole lot, or Kobeni, but I think they teased like a few things with both of them, concerning the car and the Dance Dance Revolution, and then they even hinted at a little thing with Power at the very, very, very end. But yeah, I'd say the movie was like an 8.5 out of 10. I have it over the Demon Slayer movie just because it felt like a more complete story. I really liked it. Go see it if you haven't seen it. I'm gonna go watch it again tonight. I'm pretty sure. Watch it in IMAX if you can. The music is fire too. I can't wait until I get like maybe the opening in high definition on YouTube. I'm gonna play the fuck out of that fucking. Another thing that I've been doing recently is I've been playing Digimon Time Story. I just put down the game like an hour ago, and I am obsessed with it. It is honestly this game and Hades 2, and which I've been playing nonstop, and Expedition 33 are like my three favorite games this whole year. And I loved Expedition 33, but this is a close second for me because I would really like for Pokemon to step up its game because the fact that Pokemon came out this year and just got like overshadowed by Expedition 33 and Digimon Time Story, especially because they opened the same, like, they had the same month, I think. Man, there's no denying that Time Story is just one of them ones, man. It is so good. And it's not even like revolutionary. I just think it's like a really good, people say it's a really good Digimon game because they haven't had a good one in a while, from what I hear. But Pokemon hasn't had a good game in a long ass, or at least from what I can tell, because the last really good Pokemon game I played was Arceus, and then I picked up like the Blue and Pearl, the Diamond and Pearl remaster. I didn't really like those, but yeah, I think uh, there's just like so much more you can do with Pokemon, and they just don't want to do it. I don't know if Nintendo or Pokemon Company is just like holding them back for some reason, even though the same company that's making this Pokemon games is putting out another game, which looks amazing. It's about like monsters as well, but yeah, I don't understand how it could not be as good as this. And I hear people say that the Pokemon game is actually still good, but I think since Digimon has been away from my life for so long, and then you can see like there's so many Digimon in the game that you can get that I don't remember that I've never seen, and a lot of them are like baddies too. I see a lot of videos of people with teams of baddies. I'm like, what the hell? And I've never even seen half of these people. And then you go, and I remember there's like 450 Digimon that you can get in that game, like off rip. And half of them, like, it's fun for me because I don't even know most of them. I know like the first three seasons up until like Tamers, maybe Frontier. But yeah, it's just like to see all these old characters come back with, cool animations. Because it seems like every Digimon has at least one specific animation, and then a win animation and a lose animation, or something like that. It's just so refreshing, and it's probably the best experience playing like a catch monster catcher type of game in a while. Because I think earlier this year I played Monster Hunter Wilds, and I put it down like after a week. Like 'cause it was just same shit, same shit. But yeah, Digimon is again. When I'm done with this, I'll probably go play that again before I go watch Chainsaw Man again. But yeah, let me know what you think about Digimon because that shit is fire. That shit is fire. I don't know if anybody's watching One Punch Man season 3. Season 3 is it's looking pretty rough. Looking pretty rough. It might be worse than season 2 animation wise. The last episode there was like a minute and 40-second like JPEG uh like talking scene, and I could see it as it was happening. I was thinking in my mind like, oh, people are gonna tear this shit up, and people were already talking shit about last week where Garo was sliding down the hill like with one frame of animation. So I was like, oh, it's just another thing. And the One Punch Man anime has been through a lot. I'm not sure. It's not the animator's fault. It's like the people in charge, right? And so it's just doing a disservice to the manga because the manga is so good. And when I say the manga, I mean both of them. I mean the one original and the Murata like redraw stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff coming up that could be so good, so revolutionary. And if it had the season 1 animation, which I think it was Madhouse, man, it would be like next level stuff. But unfortunately, it's just not looking good, and I think a lot of people are gonna drop it. I think I saw your boy Roshi. I was looking at the title for the reaction for the latest episode, and it said "last time watching this," and I'm like, "Oh no, no, don't do it, Roshi." But yeah, it just sucks to see like a really good anime manga show just go bad. And it's understandable if people want to drop it, but damn, I'm gonna keep watching. I'm waiting for the next episode because there are some moments where the fighting picked up and the animation was good, but then it kind of dips a lot, and that sucks. But yeah, that's what's happening. And then before I go, let me know what you're listening to out there. I've been listening to that new Rosalia, that Bergin, I don't know what it's called. I guess she's coming out with a new album like in 2 weeks. And in case you don't know, I love Rosalia. I like listening to her a lot. She was like one of my most played artists of like last year when they do the music rewind stuff and it shows you everything you have. And I'm definitely gonna listen to that album because I need some more. I need some more. But yeah, let me know what you think. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next whatever I do. Peace.